Hey guys, this video is mainly intended to be a, call it a bug report to DICE on an issue that I found with the M98B sniper rifle in Battlefield 3. And I think it's related to the dead zone on Xbox 360 controllers. That's the platform. Here you'll see the bullet not going to the crosshair. And here in a second you'll see me attempt to zero it. This is the first match I was using it in, and this is the only sniper rifle I've ever noticed this behavior on. And I've used all of the other ones. And but for some reason in the M98B, and this isn't a very widespread problem from what I've searched on it. So that was what made me think it may be related to the dead zone on my controller, because I, like many people, have a, there you can see it's shooting a mil off to the right, almost a full mil to the right and a little bit down because the scope cants slightly to the left. See when you hold the breath, the scope cants to the left slightly, and that throws a shot off. It's very consistent. It shoots back to the same point, but it cants. And here you'll see, see how it kind of locks back into place? That doesn't happen very often, and I can't reproduce a reliable way to do that. See how when I hold my breath there, the rifle scope cants to the left? And here you'll see me zoom out and zoom back in, and it's kind of steady, and there it stayed steady. But for the most part, probably 95% of the time for me, the rifle scope cants to the left like this, and you'll see a very reproducible shot pattern, which is, which makes each shot require some Kentucky windage, which makes return shots, a lot slower. So like, look here. I aim intentionally up and to the left of my target to compensate for the scope tilt. And it's, it's on target, but that's a problem. And I'm coming back to it. I think it's related to the dead zone on the Xbox 360 controller, but it only applies to the M98B sniper rifle. And essentially, my controllers had healthy use in Battlefield and other games, and the left stick has a centering issue with essentially the dead zone, where when the stick is essentially centered, like your player will still get some some rotational movement where it's off to the left or the right. There you saw that shot goes off to the side and still hits him once I started compensating. But that dead zone, which I've had more problem with Battlefield than most other games with the dead zone sensitivity on that. But usually, like in a vehicle or when I'm on foot, a little tap, a little recenter of the stick will take care of it. It may not be the issue with the M98B, since, like I said, this is the only sniper rifle it seems to affect. But that's the only thing that makes sense, because this doesn't seem to affect all that many people. Maybe increasing the dead zone sensitivity. Maybe there's some sort of balance built into the M98B that is extra sensitive to motion that the other sniper rifles don't have. But for me, well, I won't say it makes the rifle unusable, because, like I said, you can compensate for it. Like, watch this shot. Up and to the left to get a hit. And you'll see this is with the 8x scope. This is the first game I used it. I actually managed to unlock this, the 12x scope, by the next game by compensating for my shots with it. But there you see it still cants, and you can see the bullet drop there. It seems like there's less of a deflection on this one. Maybe it's because of the scope magnification. But watch as I try to center this shot here. I'm essentially zeroing the rifle. Consistently off, a little bit right and low. But I hope it's an issue you can fix, because it's I love this rifle, and I'd hate to not be able to use it, because, like I said, the problem with it is it's really hard to do good follow-up shots or even decent lead shots on moving targets, because you can't just use the crosshair as a reference. You've got to put in your mind that Kentucky windage and then kind of lead them backwards depending on where they're moving, and I think it's something that's fixable. I think there's something in the game code that must be making the M98B extra sensitive to player movement that doesn't let the crosshair settle properly. Or maybe it's just a straight-up bug, but it's a problem. And since it's only like 95% of the time, I think sometimes, although I don't see it very often, very rarely do I see the crosshair settle in a level pattern. You can see there, it's still got that left tilt. And there's going to be a couple shots coming up that make it really obvious that I have to aim up and over the left shoulder of a guy to get the hit. Like, that one was maybe right on the edge of his head. But you'll see some here where it's very clear. So I hope you guys can patch this. Yeah, right there. Look at that shot. And this isn't lag. I've reproduced this. You know, you saw me zeroing it. Here in a second, I re-zero it again because I'm just curious against a little light fixture. But it is reproducible, and I think you'll probably start hearing more about this issue because since this is such a decently high-level sniper unlock, I don't think a large percentage of people playing Battlefield 3 right now have this rifle, and I know that there's quite a few people out there. Here, I'm re-zeroing it again on that longer range. I think there's a large quantity of people out there who have controllers with decent use on the left joystick that will have the same kind of centering dead zone problems that I have, and they may just chalk it up to an inaccurate rifle, but I think it's a bug in the way that the M98B was coded. I really do, and like I said, I'm not sure what maybe, you know, like I said, maybe it's intentional to make it extra sensitive to player movement to try and make you hold still since it's a more powerful rifle, but that's not what it does with my controller, and I think a lot of people have controllers like this. They're going to see the same behavior, and it's just going to, I don't know, it's kind of ruining the rifle for me right now. I keep repeating the same points over and over just to fill all this footage, but I think there's enough examples you'll see in here of how reproducible, consistent this is. And you see this shot right here, clearly up and to the left, and it, you know, like I said, consistent. So hopefully this is enough feedback. I hope more people start noticing this issue maybe so it gets a little higher in the priority, but hopefully DICE can get a quick turnaround on this, get a patch out there before a lot of people notice it. I think that'll probably be better for everybody. So yeah, just up and to the left is where you have to aim for that. So that's a problem with the M98B, Battlefield 3 on the Xbox 360. Hope you guys take a look at it and hope this provided enough feedback. Talk to you guys later.